Hi there. It's Sunday, June 23rd, and time for Proverbs 23. Let's jump over there. This is our 10th time through this, so we should be getting to know it very well by now. And I do know this one. Well, this is important. When you sit down to dine with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you, and put a knife to your throat if you are a man of great appetite. Do not desire his delicacies, for it is deceptive food. Okay? This right here, if you're invited to dinner with somebody very important, okay, that has influence over a lot of people, or a ruler, or president, or CEO of a company, and they invite you to dinner, they're going to watch you very carefully. They're going to look at the way you conduct yourself. They're going to look at the way you act. They're going to watch the way you eat. They're going to watch how you season your food. If you put salt on your meat before tasting it, they're going to look down on you, thinking, oh, he's not open to new ideas. Okay? All kinds of different stuff. The conversation is what's important, and the way you act, he's watching the way you act. The food is a deception, okay? And that's important, especially if you're going to an interview and you're invited to lunch or something. Okay? Be very courteous to the waiting staff, the servers. Very important, because he's going to think, oh, I'm hiring him for a position, and he's treating these people like this, he'll treat my employees like that. If you season your food before you eat it, he's going to say he didn't even give it a chance. He's not open to new ideas. If you gobble it up, he's going to think less of you. Oh yeah, food is deceptive. Okay? Important life lessons. As a manager, in my career, I can tell you, you watch people the way they act. Okay. 4. And this is important too. We'll just highlight it first. Do not weary yourself to gain wealth. Cease from your consideration of it. Don't even think about it, right? Understanding. When you set your eyes on it, it is gone. For wealth certainly makes itself wings like an eagle that flies towards the heavens. Right? He often said on here, give me just enough. Okay? Of course, Solomon was the richest man who ever lived. Okay? And he learned there's more problems with wealth than there is with just enough. Right? Just enough. And you forget who your God is if you get too much wealth, okay? Think how you don't need him. That even happened to Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, okay? 6, do not eat the bread of a selfish man or desire his delicacies, for as he thinks within himself, so he is. He says to you, eat and drink, but his heart is not with you. You will vomit up the morsel you have eaten and waste your compliments. That's observe 1. Now you can tell a selfish person, right? What is this 7 over here? So it says it's for like someone calculating inwardly. Right? That's thinks to within it. For as he thinks within himself. So yes, he's calculating inwardly. He's calculating the cost. He's got you over for dinner and he's going, man, that guy just ate at $10. That guy just ate a $20 steak in 2 minutes. I'm gonna go broke, and that's all he's thinking about. A person like this will always tell you what something costs him without you asking. Okay? And he'll say it in a way so as trying not to put it on you, because it's all on himself. It's like, do you realize that soda pop is $12 a six-pack now? While you're drinking one of his soda pops, okay? And man, I had to pay $65 for these steaks, and partly he's partly boasting and partly but mostly complaining. Okay, because he's selfish. And he says, eat, drink, be merry, but inwardly, he's counting the cost of it all. Right? And there are telltale signs. They'll tell you. Somebody will tell you what they paid for everything. Okay. Beware. Okay. You will vomit up the morsel you have eaten and waste your compliments. Selfish people are only thinking about one thing: themselves. That's why they're selfish. Okay, verse 9. Do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. So try and tell anything to one of these protesters, and you'll find out what that means. 10. Do not move the ancient boundary or go into the fields of the fatherless, for the Redeemer is strong. He will plead their case against you. Apply your heart to discipline and your ears to words of knowledge. Now, it used to be back in his days, people were given land, and they said, God gave you this land, and it stayed in the family for generations and generations, like farms do now. We don't have that so much anymore, but... And they had boundary disputes back then, Today they call it encroachment, Somebody just builds... They build their garage right on the property line, and you follow the garage wall up, and then the eave of the roof, which is like this, and your soffit is under there. And that soffit sticks out over your property line. He's encroached on your property and taken part of your property, and they used to do that. They take their crops in their fields and just go a little farther and farther each year until they took over a lot of your land. And it was a problem, because he talks about this a lot in here, so it must have been a big problem back then, too. It's important. Do not hold back discipline from the child. Although you strike him with a rod, he will not die. You shall strike him with a rod and rescue his soul from Sheol, or hell we know it as today. Spank your child. You don't have to beat on him all the time. My kids turned out very well, and I may have given them, I give them a single swat, and it may have been once or twice a year, okay? I mean, I can count on one hand the time I spanked my oldest son. And he was a real rambunctious, loved to do anything, okay? But it's important, okay? 15. My son, if your heart is wise, my heart will also be glad, and my inmost being will rejoice when your lips speak what is right. Okay. There's nothing more rewarding than listening to your kids speak in church, speak about God, and speak about truth, and speak about Scripture. You're just sitting back there going, yeah, that's my son, or daughter, or whoever. And that all has to do with the one above it. You discipline them. You're not going to kill them if you discipline your kids. 17. Don't let your heart envy sinners, but live in the fear of the Lord always. Surely there is a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Don't envy these people, sinners, these movie stars and these rock stars and country singers and these philanthropists that have more money than brains. Live in the fear of the Lord always. Instead, always fear the Lord. That's going to say reverence. And that's going to say all the day. Only follow God. If you want to follow somebody rich, follow God. He owns it all. Okay? Okay, verse 19. Or 18 is part of that. Surely there is a future, and your hope will not be cut off. If you follow God, you know where you're going to end up, okay? Everlasting. Okay. 19. Listen, my son, and be wise, and direct your heart in the way. Do not be with heavy drinkers of wine, or with gluttonous eaters of meat. For the heavy drinker and the glutton will come to poverty, and drowsiness will clothe one in rags. Tell your kids not to hang around these, they have a different name every generation, In my generation, back in the 70s, we call them stoners, okay? But there's always groups of people, they drink too much, they eat too much. Okay? You don't want to hang around. You don't want your kids hanging around people like that. Hang around with people they want to be like, Or it will clothe you in rags. You will end up nowhere. 22. Listen to your father who begot you, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Buy truth and do not sell it. Get wisdom and instruction and understanding. Most important things. The most important things. Turn that page. What do you think that means? Buy truth and do not sell it. Okay, 24. The father of the righteous will greatly rejoice, and he who sires a wise son will be glad in him. Let your father and your mother be glad, and let her rejoice who gave birth to you. Right. Make your parents proud, okay? Right there. Make your parents proud. 26. Give me your heart, my son, and let your eyes delight in my ways. For a harlot is a deep pit, and an adulterous woman is a narrow well. Surely she lurks as a robber and increases the faithless among men. Right. Stay away from the wrong woman, or they will ruin you. Just that simple. Okay. Now this whole rest of this is about alcoholism. Believe it or not. Then we'll read it all together. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has contentions? Who has complaining? Who has wounds without cause? Who has redness of eyes? Those who linger long over wine. Those who go to taste mixed wine. It's mixed drinks. Do not look on the wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup, when it goes down smoothly. At the last it bites like a serpent and stings like a viper. Your eyes will see strange things, and your mind will utter perverse things. Talking about being drunk, okay? And you'll be like one who lies down in the middle of the sea, or like one who lies down on top of a mast. They struck me, but I did not become ill. They beat me, but I did not know it. When shall I awake? I need another drink. Talking about hangovers. You wake up and you feel like you got run over by a truck. Okay, but there's no wounds, there's no broken bones, but I feel like somebody beat me to death. Okay? And you don't remember. Alcoholism's a terrible thing. Okay? So, that's 23. We highlighted a lot in here. And we highlighted the first time. We talked about this at length, When you sit down to dine with a ruler, consider carefully what is before you and put a knife to your throat if you are a man of great appetite. Do not desire his delicacies, for it is deceptive food, right? It's all deceptive. He's only watching you. He's going to watch everything you do. He's going to watch the way you treat the servants. He's going to watch the way you treat the waitstaff. He's going to watch you season your food. If you season it before tasting it, he's going to get an idea of somebody who won't be open to any new ideas. If this is a job interview, simply putting salt on your food before tasting it first could cost you the entire job and interview, because the food is deceptive. He's using it to watch the way you act. Okay? So if you're really, really hungry, you don't want to go to these kind of things. Okay? 4 and 5, I highlighted, do not worry yourself to gain wealth. Cease from your consideration of it. Stop trying to get rich. Okay? When you set your eyes on it, it's gone. For wealth certainly makes itself wings like an eagle and flies towards the heaven. Right? If you touch money, it's gone. Okay? People that win the lottery within a year, 99% of them, that money is gone. And they're in worse shape than they were before they won the lottery. Because now they're deep in debt. And they have no money. They bought a big house and a big car. And before they won the lottery, they had a sensible car. The insurance was sensible. Now they bought a big, super huge, sports car or a race car or a great big giant truck. And now that they're broke, they still have their truck. Oh, it's paid off. But they're paying $600 or $700 a month just to insure it to be on the road. When their last car that got them around fine, the insurance might have been $100 a month or less. So they're in worse shape. Money does that. And we talked about selfish people. 6, 7, and 8. Do not eat the bread of a selfish man or desire his delicacies, for as he thinks within himself, so he is, which means he's always calculating the cost inside his head. Okay. He says to you, eat and drink, but his heart's not with you. You'll vomit up the morsel you have eaten and waste your compliments. All right. A selfish person will always tell you what he paid for something. Okay? Trying to impress you and trying to get you not to stay away from it because it was his money. Anyway, that's the way selfish people are. Right, it's just, everybody just said, got something else to do, And they're going to tell you, that's a $25 steak, and make you feel bad. So, yeah, remember those lessons. Okay, we highlighted 13 and 14. Important, do not hold back discipline from the child. Although you strike him with a rod, he will not die. Okay? Kids are not going to die if you spank them. Okay? You will strike him with a rod and rescue his soul from hell. Get that? Highlighted 17 and 18. Do not let your heart envy sinners, but live in the fear of the Lord always. Surely there is a future, and your hope will not be cut off. Latter end. All right. Don't envy these sinners, okay? The philanthropists and the music stars and the actors and people that call themselves important because they have money. The devil makes people rich, okay? The devil makes people rich because of this, because they can lead a lot of other people down the wrong path. Okay? That's an investment. The devil invests. That's why do the bad people get all the breaks? Because the devil's giving them breaks because he wants, look at some singing stars. They have hundreds of millions of followers, okay? And then they're up there, dancing with the devil and having satanic ceremonies and stuff, and everybody's, and they're just eating it up. Right? I mean, the devil couldn't get that kind of press anywhere else if he tried. So yeah, he's going to give them lots of money. You should live in the fear of the Lord always. Just follow God. Hmm? And then we won't read this again, but we highlighted the whole 29 through 35 is about alcoholism, about being drunk, okay? What it does to you. Okay? It goes down smoothly. At last it bites like a serpent and stings like a viper. All right. You drink too much and you get drunk and it bites you like a snake. You'll have hallucinations. You'll say stupid stuff when you're drunk. Your mind will utter perverse things when you're drunk. And you'll be like one who lies down in the middle of the sea, or one who lies down on top of a mast. The mast is always moving, shaking you. And you'll wake up in the morning with a horrible hangover. They struck me, but I did not become ill. What's up there over here? They struck me, but I feel no pain. They beat me, but I didn't know it. Okay? You will wake up with a hangover, feeling like somebody used you for a punching bag, threw you out in the street, and ran over you with a truck. Okay? But I can't find any bruises. But man, yeah. I know, I need another drink. And it never ends. The cycle never ends. Mm-hmm. Be very proud of people that are clean and sober, that have fought this and gotten through it. Okay? Because the demon will always be trying to get you back. I'm especially proud when I read on the internet somebody that says, I've been clean and sober for 1 year, 2 years, or 10 years. And praise God. Good for you. Always respect those kind of people, because that's hard work. It's hard work getting rid of that demon. Okay? So, there you go. That is Proverbs 23. We can check and see what we're doing on our Through the Bible in a Year today, Chronicles. Okay, this will be the same story that we read yesterday. Okay, we read it in 1 Kings yesterday, and we'll be reading it in Chronicles today. The same stories yesterday. So, and I would actually skip it, but I want to read the whole Bible in a year. So there you have it. Have a good Sunday. Give somebody a hug. Be humble, and remember, follow the Lord above all else. See you next time.